Hey guys, this is Changes 5. If you haven't watched the first 4 parts, I would recommend you do so because otherwise this is not going to make any sense at all. Today's is one of my shortest fanfictions ever. It's just about 400 words because I am not sure where to go with this story. And so this is one of those choice stories where you guys decide. Now, I haven't posted for this story in a very long time, but basically, majority of the people wanted to keep the boyfriend that I made up for the story and didn't want Adrian to set sail. So that's what's gonna happen, but now I need another decision, which is gonna be based on location, but you'll see. I hope you enjoy, and yeah. Changes 5, a Miraculous ladybug fanfiction. Marinette spent the first day lazy, just clinging close to Barry, her loving boyfriend that she had missed so much yet saw no more than 2 days prior. Marinette was 17 and he was 18. She was almost an adult, and she needed to sort out where she would live. She loved Paris, her friends, and her family. She had so many good memories there. But at the same time, she belonged in Tibet at this wonderful temple. I mean, there was many pros and cons to both. She loved and hated each place for different reasons. That night she tossed and turned, desperately trying to fall asleep, but nothing was working. So her creative ladybug brain started thinking of her 2 homes. There was Paris, where she first discovered the Miraculous, where her parents and grandpa lived, where her best friend and classmates were, where she made so many memories, good and bad, like the times she spent with her friends, or the times where she was under the pressure of being a teenage girl that could not once let go of her feelings because the world was at stake, and that was another thing. She needed to defeat Hawkmoth. She would bring some people from her miraculous village, and she would do that. She had fought for so long, and she watched people die only for them to be brought back. And she watched her master lose his memories. She remembered all the smiles and laughs, the cries and the screams. Then there was the miraculous village, where her boyfriend and love of her life lived, where she was challenged and hardworking, where she was the leader, where she was restoring ancient traditions and learning about the ladybugs and guardians before her. So many people were part of this legacy. And she made new friends, and the nature was beautiful, and she was attracted to the flowers after she started to get some miraculous side effects. She wanted to stay, but what about her friends? She was going to be an adult, but could she really leave? Could she finally end the war against Hawkmoth? Could she? All these possibilities flew in her head, and she ended up not sleeping that night. But she decided she would live in. Okay, so this is where you guys get to choose. So whatever you guys want, she can go to Paris or she can stay in the village. And if she goes to Paris, do you want her to get with Adrian? Because most people like Barry, but my audience has grown quite a bit since then. So yeah, you guys decide. So that was Changes 5. Another one crossed off the list. Someone asked for this today, and I thought, why not? Because I haven't done this one in a while. And so, yeah, someone commented about it, about changes in war, I believe, a day ago, and I replied to her. And yeah, I replied to her an hour ago, but by the time this gets out, it'll be like 3 hours ago. And yeah, I decided to do it. I'm pretty tired, actually. I'm not as tired as yesterday, but I think this week I'm just pretty tired. But I did have a really great morning when I looked at my grades today because I got an 8 in math. It doesn't count for this term, it counts for term 3, but like 8 in math. Yes, I'm so happy about this. Like, oh, I get 8s in maths sometimes, not often, but sometimes. Like, I got 2 7s and an 8 today in math. 2 7s and an 8. That's so hard to get. If you're an IB, MYP, you would know that it's like really hard. 8 is 100%, and it's very hard to get. This is when a teacher finds little to no mistakes. And like, if you're writing an English essay, there's always something to do. If you're doing a math creative task, there's always something more to add, like a diagram, or like you missed calculations. Getting an 8, it's criterion A, so it's pretty easy to get 8. It's just, you need to show you're working out and get the right answers, and you can get all the marks. If you do both of those things, you get full marks. If you don't show you're working out, you can only get half marks. So I had to like, but that's hard because I'm very good at mental math, and so it's a bit difficult to like put down what I'm doing in my head, because my head works a lot faster than my hands. And so I'm doing all these like equations in my head, getting the answer, but I need to put them down in a way that is clear and makes sense to the teacher, so the teacher can know that I'm doing it right. And so that the answer doesn't matter as much as it should, really. Like, if you just get the right answer, you'll get half a mark. You won't get the full thing, which is kind of annoying, to be honest. But yeah, I put all my working out. I simplified all the fractions that I needed to, and all the percentages and stuff. And you can't simplify a percentage. I simplified all the fractions. I got all the answers correct. I showed my working out. It was just so nice to get an 8. I think it's my second or third 8 in math this year, but that doesn't matter because like, it's an 8, and I have quite a few 8s. I have an 8 in reflecting for PE. I have an 8 in reflecting for music. I have 2 8s in science, 2 8s in humanities. I have some great grades this term, but that still every time will be a great experience. And the other thing I want to talk about is I'm a well-being champion at my school, which is super cool. Basically got interviewed, and apparently I got hired. I was interviewed by the older kids. Basically, well-being champions make sure everyone's has good mental health, and posts on Instagram for the school account on well-being, and it's all about spreading positive vibes and stuff. And so I'm super happy to be a part of that, because that'll be a cool experience. And yeah, I'll have meetings and should be super cool. And I got hired for that today, and so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, that's a good thing. I mean, I've had a really good end of term, but I still really want to go on break. And so luckily it'll just be tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, half a day on Thursday, and then we will be free for 2 whole weeks. And then we'll come back for the third term, but it will be Ramadan schedule, meaning the days will be shorter for the kids who are fasting and stuff. And yeah, it should be good. It should be good. And I'm not actually that tired today, but I'm gonna end this up. And yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, thanks for reading, whatever you did today. Thanks for being here. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.